Hey, Dory,
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing okay.
Oh, look at all the people who have joined us for our podcast. Hi, everybody. I'm Tori. This is my friend Mark, and we are here today to talk to you about the Summer MakerSpace in a Crate leasing program. Yay! All right, enough of this. Let's go ahead and get back to the table so you can see what we're doing. This is awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, so today we are
Nice cape.
I know, right?
Nice cape.
Styling in all
How
the
about
right
mine?
places.
I got my little superhero, my
Oh,
little flash cape.
Supercharged and ready to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've got the power of the rainbow behind
You
me.
do.
I
You
know,
do.
right? Okay, so as many of you know, we do have a Makerspace in a Crate leasing program. And there were lots and lots and lots of you that participated in the summer themed, or the Crate for the Summer Reading theme this year. We had two crates. One for the iRead program and one for the CSLP program. And this year we're doing the same. So today we thought we would review the contents of the CSLP theme for next year, which is fairy tales, mythology, and fantasy.
Right.
We got a lot of great stuff to get into. We tried to keep our podcast to about 15 minutes, but no promises.
We're going to try.
Okay, right on. All right, so let's go ahead and start with some of the artsy, craftsy sort of things that are going into the crate.
Let me jump on in here.
Yeah.
All right, Tori, let's start off with this cool little setup here. What we have is a bag full of utensils. And you ask me, why would I want a bag full of utensils?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because in this bag, first and foremost, is an extruder. And it has various rolling pins, cutting devices, dies, various tools that one would use if you're lucky enough to have this. This is a container full of clay with molding tools as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this bucket, good Lord, has got to weigh, there you go, 7.7 pounds of clay, fast drying clay that is used to go along with this. And it's the Atlas of Monsters. And it basically covers the various monsters that have been talked about and lores have been written about around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this will allow your patrons, your kids, to actually craft out of clay these monsters, their favorite monsters that they find in this type.
Right, and it's self-drying clay, so you don't need a kiln or an oven or anything to work with it.
And it'll take several hours. Fast drying will take several hours, maybe overnight, but it gives them long enough to build it, set it, and then let it dry.
Excellent. Also, we're doing Jack and the Beanstalk kits. These are little greenhouses. We supply everything. The house is already cut out, the plastic bags, the beans. You just put a few beans in it with a wet paper towel and let it sit in a sunny location for a bit. And the next thing you know, the kids are growing their own magic beanstalks.
Outstanding.
We also have a set of 12 Dreamcatcher kits. It's got the little rings. It's got the story behind it, so that the kids know what it's all about. It's got the feathers that you can decorate with and so on and so forth. Very creative idea and appropriate for almost any age. And of course, the instructions that come along with it. Also, artsy craftsy. We are sending along everything you need for the kids to make their own unicorns. Right? We even include the paper plates. So the kids color, craft. We've got the unicorn horns, the ears. We send along the little flowers and so on and so forth. And of course, any other arts and crafts sort of materials that you have at the library, you most certainly can put into it. And of course, we are also encouraging you the opportunity to make dragons to go along with it as well. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And
if that was not enough,
we're also sending along a whole series of little face masks with the, of course, with the elastic tie that you can use to put them on to encourage the kids to read about some of the myths, the gods and the monsters and so on, and let them get creative with their own interpretation. So lots of hands-on activities going on there. What else have we got here going on, Mark?
Well, we have getting out of the creating things out of paper and clay.
Mm-hmm.
We have Bloxels.
Love Bloxels.
Love Bloxels. What Bloxels will allow you and your kids to do is basically it will allow you to build your own computer game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool is you can actually build these games based on a particular Little Red Riding Hood or any of these fantasy stories. You could actually build a game, create the pixels, create the actual characters. Think of it as a Super Mario-esque type of a game that you're building, multiple levels, and it will foster teamwork with the kids, interacting together, and just it's a wonderful activity to get into the technical realm and explore the team building and the fostering of that mentality.
Exactly, and I like the Bloxels so much that I actually bought one for my husband. We play with it all the time. The Bloxels also comes with
your student workbook,
mm-hmm.
and it comes with an educator handbook, which will allow you to facilitate.
Right. Everything is all spelled out for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
And then we have blocks of story cards, fables, and fairy tales. We could actually help you design the games based on, as I said, fables, fairy tales.
And the great thing about the Bloxels is you're building your video game, just like with any classic video game, you build one level on top of another on top of another. You can download the game online so that other people can play. It's an incredibly creative outlet, and you can have 4 or 5 kids working on that at any given time, understanding the collaboration and the teamwork and everything that goes along into it. All right, so this is the 5-minute dungeon, and this was actually personally recommended by Hannah, who is in our product development and research team. She and her friends and colleagues play this all the time. It's a very fast-paced game where you have 5 different dungeons, and by slapping the cards down, you're trying to come up with a combination of things that you need in order to work yourself out of the dungeon, and you have 5 minutes to complete the game. So this is really fast-paced and a great way, to get the kids to work in a collaborative spirit as well. And in
front of us here.
Oh, the Steam. I love these fairy tale problem-solving kits. There are a variety of them. Where this one happens to be
3 Little Pigs.
Yes, and the whole idea behind it is that you are trying, or your kids are trying to construct a house out of the game pieces that are inside that you can't blow over.
Right. Totally changes the ending where you're trying to make it so the wolf cannot blow the house down.
Right.
So again, collaboration, teamwork. And putting a little twist in the story. And we have John Henry. There's various ones that we have.
Yeah, Paul Bunyan is another one. Right. So it's a surprise. You may not know which one is coming in your kit, but I mean they're all great games. Getting back into working a little bit of crafty. I know that you told me, Mark, that you're familiar with Bartholomew and the Oobleck.
Yeah.
But I was not familiar with this story until it came across our desk. But we're also sending everything that you need to create your own Oobleck. And instead of using traditional water, we're recommending that you use tonic water because underneath
it has quinine.
Right.
And quinine will phosphoresce under fluorescence.
Right.
So we send you the fluorescent light so that will actually glow in the dark. They made their oobleck.
Yep, gotta love a little black light. All right, so that's everything that you need for that, and that's good for all ages. It's a lot of fun. We also have Dungeons and Dragons. We have 2 additional role-playing games that we're including: the Hero Kids and Monster Slayers: The Champions of the Elements. This one is good for kids aged 4 till 10. And this one is good for ages 6 and up. So this is a great way to have that whole Dungeons and Dragons experience without, the significant timeline that goes along with it. And of course, we include all of the dice that you'll need and the 20-sided dice as well.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not going to get the full package because, who needs 100 die at any given time? But Dungeons and Dragons, a great way to tie in with the theme and to really get the kids to use their imagination in the process.
And speaking of imagination, we have a deluxe magic kit. and it's everything you need to do. I don't think it has the hat. You have to supply your own hat to pull the rabbit out of. But aside from this, that's a really extensive amount of tricks for them to learn.
Yeah, there are 50 tricks, I think, in total that you're able to perform with this particular kit. And this, along with the 5-minute dungeon, this is a great product that you can actually circulate at your library as well. So not only do we have these huge crate programs, but we've also got little circulating bundles that you might want to have a conversation with us about. So you get the opportunity for Steam and so on and so forth to be able to go home with the kids and then be returned. So they're also very cost effective. So we should have a conversation about that as well. But let's get back to the crate because we have limited time. What else have we got going on over there?
Great book, the Crone Briggs Gods and Heroes, Mythology Around the World. A very extensive collection of the Zeuses and the giants and the dragons and the monsters that have been passed down through mythology over the years.
And that is also a great reference guide for the kids to refer to for their arts and crafts projects as they're making their own masks and heroes and dragons and so on and so forth. And it might be worth mentioning, to the kids that, these gods and heroes, they were the original superheroes, right?
Well, there's Thor right there. I should pick right up on that.
Okay, so we also have a creative thinking guidebook. It's one of those flip books so that, you flip open to random pages like what if a shoe disappeared during winter. And so this is a great way to get the kids off on a thought process, and it's a great tie-in with the superhero comic book guide that we have now. This is one of those things where the kids are actually creating their own comic book stories as they go through. Right. So, with superheroes being the modern day gods and mythological creatures and so on and so forth, we thought that was an excellent tie-in.
And this could be used for either creating it as a Sunday comic strip type of layout, or it could be a short story that they could be doing as well.
Absolutely. And it's also a great way to kick off the creative process for like writing a play for the puppet theater that's included. And the puppet theater has been very handsomely received, very well received. And of course, you're going to get a variety of puppets that you can use with the program.
Met a few of these earlier in the show.
Right,
today.
exactly. Many of which are actually themed to the fantasy and mythology style theme and so on. So, and puppets are a great way to get shy kids to actually open up, because they may not want to have a conversation, they feel uncomfortable. However, they're empowered by having the voice come through a separate entity, as it were. So we love the whole idea of the puppets in the puppet theater.
They've certainly opened you up.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, I'm so shy and introverted, right? And of course, we've got live from the classroom. It's Mythology. This is another mythology-styled books. Give you all kinds of origins from mythological creatures from around the world. And last but perhaps not least,
Star Stories.
So this is going to be able to tie in all about the constellations and the ancient myths and everything that go along with what each of those constellations represent. And there are additional products to support the constellations, right?
Right. We have these cards, a stack of cards of the most common constellations: Orion, Big Dipper, the Hunter, and you're able to actually take the string and create your own constellation.
Right. So, and also to go along with that, we're sending this constellation puzzle, which kind of gives the kids a general idea of where the constellations lie in the night sky.
Jigsaw puzzle.
And an opportunity for them to create their own constellation with photosensitive paper. So, you just lay the pattern out on the paper. lay the sheet of acetate across the top of it, expose it to the sunlight, and after a short period of time, you've got a negative, as it were, so the kids are creating their own constellation, and they can make up their own stories to go along with it, and their own stories about the creation, what that mythical creature might be, so on and so forth. So I kind of feel like we sped through this because we had
fast forward on
yeah,
this.
we had so much that we wanted to share with you. And of course, we know this is just to give you the general gist of the summer reading program Maker Crate that we have put together. And this is for the CSLP program. We're also doing one for the iRead program, which I believe is Dig Into Your Library.
That's being developed right now.
Right, yeah. And it's this close to being done, so we'll have a podcast about the contents of that crate coming up soon. So this should give you a general idea of what is available. It is way more cost effective than you probably think it is. So, and we're also offering a discount for those libraries that sign up for their summer crate before January the 31st. So you've got a little bit of time to think about it. Keep your eyes open for our emails. But the best way is to have a candid conversation with us, and you can call us at 800-850-1701 or
podcast at teilandmarkaudio.com.
So either way, reach out to us. Let's have a candid conversation about what we do here. We are TEI Landmark, where we teach, engage, and inspire. Thanks so much for spending some more time with us. See you next time. Yay! Yay! Next time. Yay!
Look, he's got a bald spot.